Hi guys, so welcome to HRM 160. So this first week is what I've labeled it as the introductions week. So there's not any chapters in the book that we're dealing with. So for those of you who haven't gotten the book yet, I'll give you a couple days to go ahead and get that. But please get it. Anyway, so for the video this week, I felt it was a good opportunity to kind of show you around the course page on Canvas. So when you click on it, you're going to come to the home, and there will be recent announcements because as soon as the semester opens, there will be an announcement up there, and you'll be able to click on that or see it. And then you'll see a picture of the textbook again, that is required, and the specific information for that is in the syllabus. And then a little welcome uh, to the class, a little generalization. There's my information, there's my email. Then there's a couple links down here, the syllabus, course modules, all these things you can get to over here as well. But this here can only be, as far as I know, be accessed from this page. So you get them this information here. There's another little video this week about generalizations to the course, what you can expect. And there's my bio. Nothing great there. So let's go back to home. And I think we've seen everything we want to see here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the modules. Modules, your first module is going to be the enrollment verification. This is an online course. It has an online component, but not only that, this is a completely online course, so this is very, very important. If you haven't done this yet, pause this video, go ahead and do it. 4 quick questions, all yes if you have read what they're asking you to read. Okay, so get that done, get that knocked out. If you don't do this by the census date, which is the 27th, we will have a problem. And in the past, I kind of talked my way out of people not doing this and was able to keep them in the class, but I've been assured that that will be impossible moving forward unless there's very specific circumstances. So if you don't do it in time, unfortunately, you will be disenrolled from the course. Okay, so here's your typical week. Actually, this is not typical because this is this week, which is not typical because we're not doing uh, any chapter work this week. So normally here, well, I'll show you what a typical week looks like. But this week we just have the video that you're watching, and then you're having your assignment. So you'll see 2 breakdowns. You'll hear instructional videos and material and videos, and then assignments and activities. Now, sometimes there might be a third uh, category down here, which will be makeup work or extra credit. Some of that not everybody might see that. It might be just individuals having to make up, or it would be for everybody if it's extra credit. Okay. So this week we have a little page here telling you got to make sure you do that EV. Syllabus quiz. There is a quiz this week. It's on the syllabus. So read the syllabus and answer the questions. We have 2 discussions here. We have an introduction discussion and a week 1 discussion. The introductions, we just want to get to know each other. If you feel comfortable sharing a picture, that would be great. It helps me visualize who I'm talking to, and it helps me recognize them if I see them on campus for the first time. And we all as well. I've actually been in classes where we're 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks into the class, and a student walks, or there's an interaction with students, just like, oh, you're the so-and-so from our online class, and didn't even know it. All right, so it's a good thing. We're all in this together. If you're in this program, hospitality program, you're going to be taking a lot of classes together. So anyway, so introduce yourselves and make sure you address the little topics that I asked for. Now, week 1 discussion, because this is not a chapter week, it's just a kind of fun little question about technology, sort of a fantasy type question, just to get your creativity going and your mind into the importance of technology in our world today. All right, so a typical week. Let me just talk about the the titles of these modules. You'll see week 1 and then the date range. So there's no question. And then introductions at the topic. Next week will be chapter 1. Now, one thing about the weeks, you'll see they go from Sunday to Sunday. I did that on purpose. The work week for my online classes starts at 12:01 or 12 a.m. on one Sunday and ends at 11:59 the next Sunday. That means there's an overlap. You have 24 hours of Sunday or 23 hours, 59 minutes on Sunday, in which if you're finishing up one week, that's fun. You can do that, or you can start the other week. Okay. I felt that that's the best way to help students get everything done. And for those students that like to get things done quickly or get ahead of the game, it helps that as well. So anyway, so that's how I do my weeks. You'll see these topics here: instructional materials and assignments. Okay, again. Okay, that's week 1. All right, so generally speaking, you're going to have a chapter video and a PowerPoint. Now, sometimes the videos will be just me, like this one here, with the screen of the PowerPoint and me talking. Other times it might be a little different. Then we're going to do flashcards. Flashcards are going to be a good thing to help you prepare for the quizzes. These are basically just the terms that are going to be in the quiz. Your quizzes, your weekly quizzes, are nothing more than vocabulary quizzes. You're being quizzed on these key terms for the chapter. So you go down here and you go to the next one if you want to see what that is. The answer of it is it monitors outstanding balances of guest accounts, and that is accounts receivable model. Okay, so now just because there's 37 terms doesn't necessarily mean there'll be 37 terms on the quiz. However, all the information here is builds on your knowledge, and you'll find this information one time or another in quizzes or homework or in the exams. Okay, so let's go back to the module. So that was my flashcards, and you'll have the PowerPoint. You'll be able to see it right there. Download it if you like. And then you'll have your assignments. So this week we have chapter 1. You're going to read chapter 1. That's, again, this is the first week. You'd be reading chapter 1. You're going to have a quiz on chapter 1. You're going to have review questions on chapter 1. And you're going to have a discussion on chapter 1. The review questions are right out of the book. They're very simple. I'm not every single question that's in the book at the end of a chapter will be asked, so you'll need to read my prompts. Okay, so what else can you look at here? Grades. You'll be able to look at your grade, what is outstanding. You'll also be able to look right here. Somewhere here there will be there should be a icon that shows whether or not I left a comment. I am a big proponent of leaving comments in grades. Now, sometimes I'll do it in the rubrics. Sometimes I will do it in the grading panel, and other times I will do it on the paper itself. It is an attached paper. I can write on that. So make sure you look at all that stuff. Okay, so I want to go back and touch one more thing that I forgot to touch on. So let's see, I don't know if that publishes yet, but let's take a look at this. All right, so the homework, yes. The rubrics will be right attached, and you'll look at the rubrics. I grade by the rubric. When I grade, I will actually click on where you fall, and so that will be good for you to look at and see where you fall in each of the sections. All right, for the homework, I do it by questions, and 10 points out of 10 is exceptional. I added this with only being 0.25%, 0.25 a quarter of a percent from outstanding to excellent, and these first three are very close together. I did that because I had maximum points, and the next one was 2 or 3 points down, and people were not quite perfect, but they did a really good job. And I didn't like giving perfect points for non-perfect work. So if you want perfect, be perfect. Okay, so let's go back to modules. I think that's everything we need to talk about. So anyway, this is the first time I've ever done a video like this to show people what we're getting ourselves into. I hope it was beneficial for you. If not, let me know. And if it was, let me know if you feel like it. Okay, let's have a great week. I want to see some interesting stuff in the discussions, and I want to see everybody get that EV knocked out super quick. Okay, take care.